Hi everybody, today is Wednesday, May 15th, and in this brief video I would like to quickly summarize my responses to the first discussion post which you posted last night, trying to identify the main features of the term business writing. I've also made a couple of quick PowerPoint slides with narration, which you can find the link to at the bottom of this movie, underneath the movie, where I narrate my overall impressions of your posts and pose some questions for us to think about as we move forward. I'd like to begin by saying in general how I will read and respond to your discussion posts throughout the semester, just to give you an idea of what to expect. So, as you know, the purpose of this discussion post is to really let us flesh out some ideas and let us think about readings and let us think about these questions that are important for the course. And so my overall objective in reading your discussion posts is, of course, to make sure that you read the home assignments and you do the homework, but more importantly, to help you think through and consider and talk to each other about important questions for this course. So what I typically do when I look at a batch of reading responses, I read them all, and then I sort of try to identify some main themes and some main questions that I see across the board coming up in many posts, or some questions that come up in many posts. And then I post comments on a few reading responses which I find somehow representative of the conversation that goes on in the class at this point. I'm not looking for the best responses at this point to post my comments to, or a worst response. I'm looking at responses that somehow typify, exemplify, identify the main points that I think we should be discussing and that I see being discussed already. And so typically I would post 4 or 5 comments to posts of 4 or 5 people at any given time in response to any given assignment. That does not mean that I didn't like your post if I didn't post a comment to yours, or that does not mean that I thought your post was insignificant or unimportant in this conversation. It just means that I'll get to your post some other time, maybe next time, and I'll be sure to cover everybody's conversations, everybody's discussions as we go along. Again, please remember that the purpose of my comments is to encourage the conversation, to highlight the important issues, the important questions, the important themes that I'm seeing being discussed in your responses. So, when you see my comment posted in response to your discussion, feel free to respond, feel free to ask me questions, feel free to involve other people. Again, we're trying to create a conversation. We're trying to create what researchers call social presence in online courses, where everybody contributes, everybody participates, and people don't feel separated from the rest of the class by being far away, for example. So this is basically what I do typically, especially at least what I've done with your first post. Below this movie, as I've said, you will find a link to a narrated PowerPoint presentation, just a couple of slides with some comments. So go ahead and click on that link, view the slides, and think about the questions that I'm posing there, and in preparation for the next reading and discussion assignment tomorrow, think about those questions. Thanks very much, and as always, please let me know if you have any questions. Oh, another thing, I'd like to urge you very strongly to resist the temptation to post ahead, not because I don't think that you should not be trying to save time and kind of post ahead and plan your time, but because these reading assignments and discussion assignments have been very carefully scaffolded by me, which means one of them leads to the next, and so I think you will create a much richer response to the next assignment, to the following assignment, having gone through the conversation and through the exchange of ideas with your classmates on the previous assignment. So as much as possible, try not to post ahead. So if something is due on Thursday, don't post both responses on Tuesday thinking that you're going to have somehow less to do later in the week. The reason these assignments are sequenced in that way is because